Hey, so I thought I'd share a little bit about how I'm using AI just to do some simple prototyping in my design workflow. So I've got this form here that I've been working on, and I'm just running into a little bit of complexity with the logic of how it's supposed to work. Um, you don't need to know the specifics, but basically there's a relationship between this role field and what happens with these admin checkboxes down here. And I started writing out some notes about how this should work, but it just felt like it was going to be a little complicated to prototype. So I jumped over here to Claude. I kind of queued this up so you don't have to watch me type, but I dropped in a screenshot of that. So it has the images to work off of, and then as well, just told it, hey, build a prototype of this form. I want it to be a simple page that works in the browser without dependencies. I was explicit about that because I've noticed Claude will often jump to wanting to build like a React app, which is way overkill for what I need here. And then I want the prototype to prototype the relationship between the role input and the admin checkboxes in the schedule section. And then I told it to look at the notes in black for instructions on how it's supposed to work. So we'll see how much of that it picks up on. So that, here we go. We'll see how far we get in a 5-minute video here. It probably won't get quite the whole thing done, but I bet we'll get a decent way. So it's going to create an HTML prototype, which is perfect. That's what I want. All right, great. So obviously the styling isn't exactly right, but that's okay. We could always go back and fix that later if we really need to. But let's see what it got here. So staff member, if I go to admin, does it select all the boxes? Okay, nope, didn't do that. Didn't do that. Okay. So the first thing I'm going to say is like, okay, when I select admin, check all the boxes and make the checkboxes deactivated. So this takes a minute, not even a minute, but 10 seconds or so to whatever to do. So now let's see if that improved. If I go to admin, okay, great, gives me that. If I go back to staff member, okay, that's good. Now if I check one box, what I really, I can't even check those boxes when staff member selected, so boxes when I'm gonna say allow me to check a box and update the role to schedule admin. So what's nice of this is pretty much the conversation I would have if I were sitting next to a developer. I don't really have to worry about the code, but once I get this to a point where it's doing what I want, I could hand the code over to developer, not so they can copy and paste it, but just because the code actually serves as good documentation for the behavior that we're looking for. So staff member to admin, okay, that checks them all. Let's go back to staff member. It keeps them all checked. I don't really want it to do that. So let's do this. Okay, so we're at staff member, nothing checked. Okay, great. It updates it to schedule admin. Okay. Now I'm going to say if all the boxes are unchecked, change the role to staff member. So now if I check a box, goes up to schedule admin. Now if I uncheck these, great, it goes back to staff member. If I go to admin, checks them all, disables them. When I go back to staff member, okay, that's a bug though. If I'm a staff member, none of these should be checked. So I'll try to make that last update quick. If I go from admin to staff member, uncheck all the boxes. All right, so let's make sure it did that. So admin, back to staff member, great. If I check one, goes to schedule. So that's pretty much what I want. So we're a little over 5 minutes, and I've got a functional version of what I needed. I think that probably would have taken me quite a bit longer in Figma and been a lot harder to update. So you can kind of see how that iterative workflow works. And yeah, definitely recommend using Claude for simple prototypes like this.